Welcome, friends. Hello, hello. All right, we are also live on our YouTube channel. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you guys. How are you? Of course, give me a second. I always forget my little microphone so you can hear me better. Okay, here we go. All right, how's everybody? All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so tonight I had so much in my mind. I was like, what to share. So I compiled it the best I could with talking about our hotspots, our birth charts. Remember all those things. You can go get a free birth chart if you want on my website under tools, or take the Zodiac class. I'll mention it again later, but let's get started and I'll see if I did a good job compiling everything together because there's a lot, but it's a good class because I want you guys to stop taking everything so serious. All right, let's get started. All right, everybody, welcome to the Truth Tribe. I'm Dawn Thompson. Thank you all for being here on my veterans and those of you who are new, and welcome to you as well. Remember that you are all perfect exactly where you are in this exact now moment. There's nothing wrong with you. Even the stuff you don't like, it's there for a reason, teaching you a lesson. And then also remember, I love you all very much. So from now on, and as always has been, but I want to be really clear, Truth Tribe is about your relationships and where boulders are affecting you in three major categories that I get asked about: health, wealth, and love. And it's always sitting in your birth chart when you look at your hotspots. So astrology just makes it faster for us to see where you get stuck easily by looking at these boulders kind of in your way. Okay. You don't need your chart to be here because I'm going to load you up every call on cool stuff. It's just more validating if you have it. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about the ecosystem of your health, wealth, and money. And mind mastery is being forced on all of you right now. Your mind, your thoughts, your beliefs. And with information overload that we discussed a couple calls ago, the information overload that you're all up against, you're all being pushed to step back from all of it and choose your reality, the one you want. And mental mastery only happens after you have soul mastery, right? Which then creates life mastery, physicality. So everything that you see and experience are layers of ecosystems. An ecosystem is just a group of energy, a group of community, a group, right, of cells that are making up something. The ecosystem of your health, the ecosystem of your wealth, the ecosystem of your love. The best place to start understanding is that everything in your entire reality are layers of ecosystems that reveal you. So you can see it, right? So the ecosystem of the earth that we all live on is made up of 4 elements. Oh, the 4 elements of your chart: earth, air, fire, and water. And so the things that you can physically see, like in the cells of your body, if you had a microscope, you can see these in your DNA. Earth, right? The earth of your cell, of your DNA, is the physical DNA. It's composed of minerals, right? Air, energetic vibrational sounds, holding sonar vibrations that you can feel. Your cells can feel them. right? Water holds an energetic imprint of its environment and then is activated through fire or thermogenesis, which heat is created in the body. So that is just one tiny little physical cell of your DNA. Okay, now replicate that cell in all the cells of your mind and the belief systems that also hold ecosystems of epigenes, epigenetic DNA. It all matches. And same with the spiritual DNA, which is in your chart, which is why I look at these hotspots so you can see that we're all connected, which then, right, it expands into your energetic blueprint of your environment. So you have an environmental ecosystem with societal beliefs. They hold energetic matches to your physical, your mental, and your emotional ecosystems. That's where you reside. That's where you're drawn to. And that physical reality, it then extends out with your sonar to your energetic grid, which then gets bigger and connects to the ecosystem of the galaxy and the planets. So remember that the planets aren't physically doing anything to you. I tell you this all the time. We talk astrology. They're not doing anything to you. They're just energetic waves of information with frequency matches that you either play out from your personal birth chart holding specific DNA frequency, victimhood, low frequency, or high frequency power. And so we get so caught up because we've been zoomed in with information overload on a TV or a digital something from someone telling you, ooh, the boogeyman's coming, and you're believing this shit. So, I'm going to share my screen with you guys. So the ecosystem, right, is something I want you guys to understand. Is there is this visual that I think helps you guys understand it and see it a little bit better. Okay. Let's see if I can show you this. All right, let's see. I just want to make sure you guys can see this. There it is. Okay. And so when you look at this picture, okay, the picture is showing you the ecosystem of your reality. Your hand has the DNA right there on the arm, okay? And that DNA is made up of earth, air, fire, and water. And your physicality then sends it out to that person in the middle with out to your community or your home or your thinking. And it sends out sonar vibrations, which also come back to you. Then you go up into your chart, which is the grid that matches all that energetic DNA back into the planets. Or we can take the planets and bring the planets right back into you. And then those planets match when your spark of light comes through the planets, it takes on the tattoo of the grid of your spiritually energetic tattoo of the universe and the galaxy back into your local, wherever you're born, your community, your family, your mindset, that ecosystem of thinking and feeling and experiencing back into the body, back into the cells, and that's you. And so when you look at this photo, it's very easy to go, oh, I get it, right? And so when you start to see this picture, right? And it could be as, yes, someone says some other disease is coming. Ooh, right? So you have to think through how you're looking at the world. And so the planets are you guys, energetically, not the planet, right? Everything in between are layers of ecosystems matching each other. So it's safe to say that when you try to move into an ecosystem that you don't think, like, I just don't belong in, or you're programmed in your mind's ecosystem of unworthiness, like, I want more, I want a better life, I want health, wealth, and love. And in your program ecosystem, in your belief system from what you grew up or where you hang out or who you spend time with is unworthiness, it's going to fucking suck. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be nerve-wracking until you look at the reason you came on your chart with your blueprint, go, oh, I chose this and I can upgrade. And so tonight I'm going to focus quite a bit on Saturn, We talked about Saturn, yes, about 4 weeks ago, and I'm going to rotate and cycle through them because it affects us in so many different ways. Saturn is a frequency, yes. And now Saturn and Neptune, which I'll talk about at the end of the call in our planetary update, are going retrograde. And they're basically very powerful planets because they're telling us it's time to release. Saturn is associated with, in the TV and the digital realm, as Satan, right? Which is so stupid because it's a frequency of foundation. So it can be rules and structure, and if you don't do it this way, you're bad. And actually, it's a powerful, powerful awakening saying, wait, if I make my own structure, I can live the life of my dreams. But if you knew that, you wouldn't be fear of learning its lesson. You wouldn't be afraid of it, and you'd stop running away. And you go, no, 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 I'm here to learn that. The emotion around security and foundation are what is happening right now on the planet. You're all feeling it. I don't care which one it is. And it's asking you to acknowledge what you want to clearly define as your matter or your physical reality that you want. Could be things, could be physical health, wealth, could be a physical person. I want to be in love, right? Whatever that thing, person, place is. And so we live in this infinite state. I showed you from your hand to the universe and everything in between, this infinite state of ecosystems. And when you can see it from that version, you will have to accept that your mind must adapt to a new ecosystem or a new group of an energy that you desire. And understand that the enslavement environment is not what you want. And this is what Saturn's doing to all of you right now. It's going to make you create the solid ecosystem that you actually choose instead of what they keep telling you. Be scared. You can't choose, which is bullshit. It's like leaving an ant ecosystem, an ant hill, right? And you're a little ant. Moving into the elephant ecosystem. It's impossible. You can ride on the elephant's back and have a whole new reality. There will be growth needed. Or maybe like leaving an unhealthy, toxic love ecosystem that you grew up with that, you think that's all you know, you wouldn't think to change it, right? So it's in your beliefs. And by detoxing ancestral patterns of epigenetics, the gene, and by stepping into healthy, loving, healthy marriage, a marriage mission that you want with a committed partner, are two different environments, two different ecosystems of living. It's like living in two different cities with one with full of, trees and lakes, and one with pollution and zero greenery. It's two different environments. So you must stop waiting for someone to save you. We have a savior complex going on this planet, and I'm telling you, it's a president, it's a teacher, it's the medical system, it's my religion, it's God, it's my no one's gonna save you. And Saturn is teaching you security in your soul so you can start taking back your power and save yourself. And your chart shows this, where you chose an environment that you can go, I desire to get out of this with creative passion, but you chose some environments you don't like. Okay. Already this bigger, badass aspect of you is residing in your soul. It's already there. You just have to see what's blocking you from it. You cannot have a new reality or a new ecosystem of living, of money, of your health, of your love life in the ant farm. And it is the system that resides in your health, wealth, and love. And until you see what it is, you won't believe, right, that there's any other reality for living, because that's all you know. Like growing up, like I said, in a dirty water lake, maybe with no fresh water, never realizing for the lack of learning, right? You just didn't know that there's loads of fresh water, healthy fresh water everywhere. The digital tells you there's not. There's a lack of water. Oh my God, we're not running out. There's so much, it's not even funny. This applies to everything in your reality. An old ecosystem, belief system, mindset, a reality you live in, and one you want. And your reaction to these ideas are your reaction or resistance to seeing your own history of love, your own history of health, your own history of wealth within you. You can no longer blame your past or people or your environments. So Saturn in the sky, the energy it's holding on us right now is asking you to see where you need to take your life and live at the next level of elevation, moving into a peaceful reality. And you keep accepting people telling you, no, it's so bad. I don't care what the political, what the environment, what your money is. You have to focus on that. And now Saturn adding to it in Pisces, I'm going to talk on all this deeper later. But I just want you to know why you're feeling what you're feeling can keep you in a delusion, or it can keep you, or you can get stuck in this imprisonment state, like there's nothing I can do, which is not true. Or it can show you the vibration of mental clarity, foundation, and the desire and peace over dumbed down, blind, sacrificing faith, which is what we've been in for 2,000 years plus-ish, right? High or low frequency choices of Saturn and Pisces. Clear faith has no time or space. Like when you know who you are, what you want, the higher, I want to live in that ecosystem. Maybe you want to live on a yacht and travel all over, to beautiful exotic places. That's absolutely in your realm. But you have to focus on it and then figure out how to get to the next ecosystem to live in that system. Right? And so you have to have clear faith, because when you do, there is no time and space, but being what you choose to express right now, every now moment moving forward. That's who I am. I live on a yacht in exotic places. That's it. Like, that's all you can think. It's going to go against the ecosystem in your mind of beliefs. So consider your current reality, all of you, right? Whatever it is that you're frustrated or stuck or you want more of, and it's like, well, there's no freaking weight on, I say no, right? Because whatever reality you're in, is it still an imprisoned mindset, or is it a creative expression of who you are with your health, with your wealth, with your love? Are you still in duality and you see like your side, your side is the bomb and then their side is the shit? Like, you're still in duality. Your body is better and theirs is a slob. You're in duality. Your love is the right way and they're dumb for seeking healthy unions. That's not the way it is. You're just going to have to suck it up and take it. Not everything is perfect. That's duality. That's separation from all. And I just showed you in the hand, your cells match everything in your reality, all layers of the ecosystem into the galaxy. There is no separation, my friends. There is no us and them. There is nothing other than you are all things, and the environment, ecosystem that you choose to live in, think in, and reside in, or accept, is you being in polarity or you being in choice. You have a choice to embrace the pressure that Saturn is giving everyone on the planet right now to grow, and it's enforcing it. Or you don't have to. You don't have to do it. You don't have to embrace your mental mastery. But most people right now are like, I don't want to do it. And look at your shitty thoughts about health, wealth, and love. You don't have to awaken your low frequency part of your astrology grid, right? Of the routines that you keep playing of enslaved control environments. You can stay right there. Or you can elevate into alignment with your soul and its mission to live high frequency of your mental mastery, always beginning at your soul. Soul, spirit, mind, body. That's the way it works. It was body, mind, spirit, which means body was like, get a body, get a health, get your money, go buy a car, go to work. But we inverted, and I told you this 3 years ago, we inverted. And it's pissing you all off now because Saturn is putting the pressure on, right? And those of you who are open to it going, I don't like this. I don't like change. I know, but it's going to give you some badass life and a badass new ecosystem of reality, right? And so simply learning where you came to understand your soul's entire energy frequency will be where your power lies. And so 4 weeks ago, again, like I said, when we discussed Saturn, I want you to see a different angle. Its energy influence is always that father energy of hard growth, of pressure, where they push you to do things you don't want to do, right? To grow in a category of your life where you came to learn, whether you had a father to teach you this, foundation and structure and security, or you had none and you came to pour your own choice of foundation. It's up to you. It doesn't matter how you experienced foundation, but you can only change you and your own blueprint. That's the only option. You can only choose to avoid the blueprint with boulders on it and low frequency and keeping you imprisoned, or you can override it. Those who are avoiding are revealed in everyone's addiction to, this is a big thing on the planet right now, isolation and loneliness. Why are people getting into isolation? I did it for a while. I'm not the loneliness, but the shutting down. Why? Because it's safe. Now I get it. It was safe for me too, but it doesn't evolve my work, right? It's why I never stopped the Truth Tribe. It's why you don't shut down, right? And so and someone said silence. Silence is different than isolation and loneliness. Isolation is basically shutting yourself off from the external world and not having anything but your own little body, your own little world, having zero interaction or shutting it off, right? And loneliness is being in environments that you can't be yourself. So there might be people in your world, but you're like, but I'm not me. So you're lonely. Even though they complain about it, it's reason for this. They're like, I'm lonely or I'm isolated, right? But it's because of Saturn. Okay. It wants you to see your own power to create your own safety, security, and foundation that is inside of you. It's not hiding, right, from what you can't control. It's not about hiding yourself from you can't control the assholes and people who show you their pain points. They are in fact for you, so you can look at your own chart, choose to override that pressure place with growth. People are not actually hurting you, they are revealing you. And everything you're struggling with is about where you learn to feel safe beliefs to keep you safe and secure. And Saturn is shattering all this isolation and loneliness bullshit and saying, no, 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 no. You have a tribe out there. Move to the tribe that fits your ecosystem, your community. So when you're saying to your ancestors, you have to start letting this shattering belief system break apart. It's like saying to your ancestral beliefs, right? Those thoughts of epigenetics, they're no longer possible to hold you if you want a new life or an entire ecosystem. But it is asking you to find your core confidence. Find your fear of that category in your chart. If you don't have a chart, go on to tools, go on to Zodiac description, and just get the winning wheel and circle the part of your chart on that winning wheel. Which one of these do I feel the most frustration, challenges, restriction, and isolation in, right? Because when you see in your chart, you have to start looking where you have to pour a new foundation or a new ecosystem. Tonight's hotspot is Saturn because it's such a powerful energy on the planet right now, and it's going to be here for quite some time, and retrograde, which means it's looking backwards to all your ancestors and all the pain and all the traumas and all the itself or real imprisonment. Right? It's your safety and your security and your place. You have two options. You can create safety and security with it wherever it's putting it, or you can use it as your place to hide for protection. And so you're all learning to do it wherever you have Saturn in your chart. So if you have your charts with you, pull them out and look for the little brown H. And if you are in low frequency, where the slice or the category, the house that little brown H sits, you will feel secluded in that area or category of life. If you're living in high frequency area of that life, you're going to feel secure and confident. So look in your chart. I'll touch on these in the Q&A. And remember that if you don't have a chart, like I said, you can also it's super easy. Just go grab my mini course. I'm actually going to launch a mini ebook on this as well. So if you don't want to take the course, you can read the book. I'm going to launch it in a couple weeks. And you can get the course until then, right? That reminds you how to locate these 4 hotspots on your own personal Zodiac chart. It's called Zodiac Wheels Your Medicine Wheel. I bring it up all the time, but it shows you specific locations on your chart before you show up here. So you already know where they are, but then I'm going to touch on what they mean, right? So when you simply look at your health, your wealth, or your love, and again, it could be many things. I bring up these because they're the big dogs, right? These are the big dogs that people are like, I need more money. I need more, my health, I need health, and I don't have love. Like, so I would put money that your chart somewhere where Saturn is sitting, it's bossing you to raise your frequency and move into a dream ecosystem, a belief system, an environment, right, that raises one of these areas of your life. And that's where it's impacting you. Remember, ecosystems are cells in your body, toxic or not. Belief systems in your mind, toxic or not. Ecosystems are relationships, toxic or not. Communities, social groups, geographical, global ecosystems. The one you reside in is playing out in your choice to ascend to a higher, healthier environment or not. It's that simple. So think about your environment. That's the ecosystem you live in. They're all functioning. They all play their roles. They all create structure for you. So that's your little ecosystem. The city that you live in, the locations that you travel to, whatever it is. Now, your relationship, there's a little mini ecosystem of psychological warfare going on between your love or the love you want or the love you don't have. It's always there. There's many mental ecosystems all the way out to where you want to live, who you want to be. Saturn will reveal where you can get stuck in poverty and lack mindset, only to show up and to show you that you can flip the coin and create strength and abundance consciousness in that area. Changes your game. So look at where you create lack or poverty in your life. Write it down. Where, if you don't have your chart and you know that category, write down. Do you create it in money? Do you create it in health? Or do you create it in love? Because I guarantee Saturn or one of the other hotspots are sitting in these areas, tripping them up. It's like this never enough mentality everybody's in right now, and it's freaking everybody out. And I'm trying to tell you, Saturn saying, no, don't accept it. You got the power to lay a foundation in a new ecosystem that you want. But this never enough mindset is healing. It's happening right now, the healing. We're putting it to bed. There's never enough health. There's never enough wealth. There's never enough love out there to live how I wish. That's the big mantra right now, right? Instead, Saturn is saying, get your shit together. Start walking into that insecure category of your life. It makes all of us insecure in that category. Always. I have clients, you guys, who are mega wealthy and have Saturn placements in their charts, forcing them to learn. This makes me laugh. Like, I got all the money in the world. I got everything I want. And it's forcing them to learn healthy marriage, partnerships, and intimacy. And I laugh at them and I'm like, you aren't getting out no matter what you achieve. Then I have clients who struggle to rub two pennies together, but have absolute abundance when it comes to family, love, and fun. Like, they're just amazing to be around in their energy. I have clients who have incredibly loving family and relationships, but find lack in their bodies. So they're avoiding all mentality that could step into the next level of health. So it doesn't matter where it sits. It matters what you choose to avoid and stay in a low frequency of lack. Lack is always going to hold you almost like you're in a jail cell. Walk straight into that boulder, walk straight into Saturn, and start climbing a tiny step at a time, creating high frequency ecosystems. Because each step you take, you're almost like you're moving down the road to the city down the street, or miles, or 50 or hundreds of miles away. Each step you take, imagine that city that's more beautiful, more abundant, that's what you're doing. Okay. I just had a client that was like, they were complaining. They're like, it's so hard. I was laughing. I'm like, and this was, they were like, how do I make more money right now? And I started laughing. I'm like, you know what? I was just on social media posting and I saw a Canva. If you don't know what Canva is, it's like a digital way to make digital designing. And I saw a Canva lady, she made a reel, she was telling us about it, and she made stickers with like these awesome quotes. Those of you who are on my daily IDI morning inspirational messages, right? They were like that, but she made stickers with awesome quotes in her Etsy store. And the store makes $150,000 a year making stickers. They don't make them, they just print them on them and send them through a distribution. Right. And I just laughed and I'm like, so how do I make more money today? Pick something that you love with passion and go do it. Saturn's probably telling you, if you did it, I'd help you. Right. And then when it comes to health, I just experienced my own health reset. When I got super strict, I literally cut myself down to 6 items of food that I know make me feel good and healed my stomach. I could only eat that for 30 days to detox my blood type. I eat on the blood type diet. If you don't know what it is, just go Google blood type diet. It's not to be on a diet, it's to eat best for your health. And I've never felt so vibrant in my life. I've never had this long of a timeline of feeling this amazing. And so it's all different for different types, right? But I only ate those things for 30 days. And I started, what is amazing? Then it's just discussing relationship concerns with the client, right? So have all things, money, health, love, right? Who has had extended periods of time apart, only to see the blessing in it because it was forcing time on discussions of truth that needed to be cleared before the passion and the clarity could be replaced by daddy Saturn insecurities. Right. And so clear as day in their self-sacrificing charts, they were like, oh my God, Barmy. They were doing so much busyness together that when they were apart, they actually had to talk through it. The pause and the break created deeper intimacy and connection. Saturn did that. So Saturn is using you to find passion of your soul's growth and what you're avoiding. And Saturn's saying, you've been avoiding it, I'm coming back. You've been avoiding me, I'm coming back. I'm going to put pressure, I'm going to put pressure. So you can learn this while your dream vision out here is never, ever changing. And it's building up ahead on your happy highway. It's waiting for you to keep taking another step towards that new ecosystem, that new reality. And I want you guys to understand that you can use the Saturn in the sky and not know your chart. You're still going to feel this. So you're still going to feel the things you don't want to deal with. You walk right into them. It will bless you to a new energetic reality, which is a new ecosystem. Your cells, right, to the world you live in, to the earth you live on with earth, air, fire, and water, to the universe made up of earth, air, and fire, water, of the elements, to the planets. They're all symbolic waves of energy giving us the answers, yet we avoid them. And I'm telling you all where they are for you specifically. So you can go, okay, I'm going to walk right into that Saturn and it really sucks in that department. And I'm going to take one step at a time. Everybody really quick, I'm going to get into the planetary update and then I'm going to get into a lot of you are tapping in and letting me know where Saturn sits in your chart, and I'm happy to address them on the Q&A. Repeat after me. I teleport into my dream reality. We'll add ecosystem now. Clap 3 times. One more time. I teleport into my dream reality now. You have the ability to do that immediately by just watching that these hotspot boulder energies do not block you, because it's already there in your chart. It's already in your reality. It's already in your grid, or else you couldn't want it. You couldn't create it in your mind. You couldn't even think it up, because if it wasn't already in here from your energetic higher self, knowing you're a freaking badass, you couldn't even think of it, of being healthier, wealthier, and lovable and living in this state of bliss. You couldn't. So let's do a quick planetary update. It's a little bit long only because I just had to get what's going on in the sky. Okay. Because Saturn is a spotlight, y'all needed to know why. And it's why you're feeling its pressure, because what's happening in the sky right now is Saturn turned retrograde. Okay. Which means like Mercury retrograde, it's looking backwards and it's super slow. So it's going to be a lot longer than the 3-week Mercury retrograde, right? And so what's happening is, it has correlations for you to begin your growth. The pressure is forcing you. So when you're like, I don't want to do it anyway. And so on July 6th, last Friday, we also had a new moon in Cancer. Right. So this weekend got a lot of people very emotional, dealing with their feelings because they didn't want to make changes, but then stuff came up, which is not the natural thing since we're finally pulling out of this spiritual and emotional poverty that I told you we've been in for eons. And remember, spirituality is self-awareness. We haven't been aware of ourselves. We've been out there letting all these false, gods and false saviors tell us it's going to be okay. And they lie on their asses off. And you're like, oh my God, why did I believe that? You got to believe in yourselves now. That's what Saturn's doing. Venus now in the sky. Okay, so it sits like this. Here's Venus and here's Chiron, and they have a square. So their energy is a 90-degree square to each other. And they might not be exact, but they're pretty darn close. It's calling us to remember our worth. Okay, there it is again. What are you worth? What foundation, what environment, what ecosystem do you deserve to be in? And to become self-aware and honest in our relationships and to avoid repeating patterns of hurt from the past. So they're bringing it up, including Saturn. So this is not just one planet. This is a critical time, my friends, to avoid going on these ongoing experiences of rejection and abandonment that stem from unconscious expectations that have been formed by past traumas and past programming in your mental ecosystems of memories that are no longer holding valid truth. So we need to be self-aware and honest. It's why I switched the Truth Tribe. In addition, you can take the class, but I'm tapping into your hotspots because you need help to see you now. We can't wait. Right. And so if you're being self-aware and honest in your relationships, right, if you're not being that aware of them, I should say, it's going to prevent you from attracting the same type of patterns or people that have been with us before in those ecosystems, those anthill systems we don't want to be in anymore. So if you don't know who you are, you're just going to keep doing and you're like, why? That's why. Being kind and compassionate to yourself, valuing where your weak spots are, or maybe scars or your vulnerabilities. People are like, I don't want to be vulnerable. They'll know. We all know. We already know, right? Your imperfections that are perfect, that make a person, a thing, and an ecosystem what they're supposed to be, which is the beauty of where you belong. So it's going to bring up feelings and conditions of rejection, of differentness. Is that a word? Being different, differentness, I think. I'm going to call it differentness. Abandonment, and then releasing that feeling of rejection, being different, and abandonment is so crucial right now to move to a new ecosystem. You won't be able to do that in the new ecosystem that's full of bliss and joy. So that's more aligned with your soul's blueprint. I'm telling you, these more beautiful environments, that's who you are. This shit is not. Okay, so it's important to remember that these feelings do not define us. We know this because you've survived the worst kinds of emotional pain. And we are more than feelings of rejection and abandonment. We're more than these stupid ecosystems that you've been like, well, that's how I know. I only know a muddy pond. Walk a couple steps and then a couple more, and you're going to end up a new city with fresh water, and you're going to blow your mind. Spirituality is so huge right now. And as I remind you again, it means self-awareness. And so this transit with Chiron being the wounded healer, it's where it's teaching you to heal yourself. And Venus being the representative of love and money invites you to dive deep into your wounds, not to suffer, but to see them and evolve and say, no, Dawn said just start walking to the direction. Anything that would take you there, teeny tiny things will get you there. And as you confront the past pain points that have been staring at you, you start transforming them into wisdom and strength and foundation on your journey of self-discovery and healing that helps you align with this higher purpose, your spirit, your grid, your energy of your truth. And you're going to cultivate and elevate deeper, more authentic connections in everyone in that new ecosystem, because you're going to feel aligned with it. Okay, so if that wasn't enough, just Saturn and Neptune, which is the creative, right, dream maker planet, and Saturn sitting up here in the sign of Pisces, it can be self-sacrificing as well. So we have to watch ourselves. But if that wasn't enough, right now, for a little while, we have Venus opposing Pluto. So they're two pulling on each other. So it can make change in your relationships, right? It can force change in your relationship because Pluto rules death and regeneration. Increase your attraction to someone. Could all the blue go, oh my God, if we change that now, I'm like, I really like you. Now, the downside is it might reveal shocking secrets because Pluto rules secrets, the dark. Doesn't mean to end things. It just means secrets that you've been hiding from yourself and them because you're afraid to admit your vulnerability will come out. And it can end or release partnerships in addition. So sometimes we're holding on to stuff and it's going, I'm going to let you see the truth so you can move on. Or you need to see a truth I've been hiding from you so you can heal and go, oh my gosh, we're way better than that. And then you got Mars and Uranus both close together, super close together, which can lead to this. Remember, Uranus is sudden bursts of change, sudden in, sudden out. So it can lead to like unexpected chaos, unsettled, unbalanced connections. So my friends, please be ready for surprises. This is not just with you. This is the entire planet, right? And so the surprises are to say no to old systems if something comes back from this retrogrades, and yes to new ones. And the new ones be like, I don't know how I'm going to get there, but Dawn said if I can be on a yacht in tropical paradise locations, and I'm going to focus on it. I don't know how, but your energy creates an ecosystem in your thoughts. And that ecosystem then has to start creating a grid of energy that attracts you to someone that says, oh, I have this house in another country, in another wherever, and I've got this boat and I got this. Do you want to come with? Sure. Your energy in your mind has to create the ecosystem of thoughts of the environment you want first. And once you do, watch this thing grow. Okay. Everybody right here. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. This is your nervous system, your thymus gland. It activates your nerves, your immunity. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. Tap here. I know courage. I know love. I know truth. Now, you doing this all day long when you're nervous, overwhelmed, just tap it in. It'll reawaken your grid. If you do nothing and you don't know your chart, you don't know Saturn, and you don't know why you're feeling like shit in health, wealth, and money and love, that's all I want you to do. And go, Dawn said, focus on what I want and make it big, my friends. Okay, so in the Q&A, I'm getting some planets coming in, or some houses of where your Saturns are sit. I'm going to tap on those, but I want to open up the floor to who's feeling isolated or hiding from the external. I want you to look at it because I did it for a while and then I thought, am I doing this because I'm afraid of them, or am I doing this because I don't want to deal with them? And when I realized dealing with them, I had to be stronger, and that's why I was isolating. I just didn't want to deal with it. And I realized I'm bigger than this. What do I care? I'm not changing me, and it changed the game. Okay. And so let's see. We've got some Saturn. One of them just came in here. It says, if Saturn is my career house, in my career house, in the 10th house, I need to feel safe making the career I desire for me. Yes, yes, and yes. And when Saturn's in your career house, you have to not feel bad about wanting to create prestige and abundance in sharing what your gifts are to the world and laying foundation and help people use your foundation through your career. It's very important to you, right? To have a, a beautiful, I'll call it company if you have your own company, or a beautiful career, something that validates you're like, this is what I love. It's your passion. But when you avoid it and you have career issues, that's where it comes from. The next person says, Saturn is in my 4th house. house of home, house of career, or house of home, security, foundation. And it also rules mother. So Saturn could be putting pressure on you to say, are you mothering everybody at home? And instead, are you mothering and laying a foundation for confidence for your, it's always about you, my friends. It's not about mothering people at home. And so she also said it's in her fourth house in Aquarius. Aquarius rules the masses, a whole bunch of people. Is she mothering everyone at home and taking care of everybody and everybody who brings everybody to her home and creating security for them, but not for her? By having Saturn in your fourth house, there's career. It rules career also. So career, father, security. Are you laying a foundation to help the masses from home and create nurturing and mothering security through your career for them? So it's a very good foundation to lay and not over mother everybody and not yourself. Another one says Saturn is in my 11th house, the public. Hopes, wishes, dreams. So there's a part of you probably that blocks when you start to go to that new ecosystem, to that new dream life, and then you probably sabotage yourself at times, right? Sabotaging yourself from getting to the realization of that truth. Don't take everything as, oh my God, it's lack, I haven't gotten it, because Saturn will make you feel that way. Lay the foundation for the dream reality you want to live in and help the masses by living it. You guys, you don't manifest and illuminate and attract what you aren't. So you have to be it so everyone around you goes, oh, that's how I do it. Well, if it's in the 11th house, that's the humanitarian, it's leader, it's groups, associations. But if you're afraid to walk into that and be the leader and be it, that's when you'll get tripped up. And you might self-sabotage yourself in public or in group scenarios, which I think we talked about the last time. You struggle to be in groups and be open. You have to do it anyway. Okay. Does that make sense, everybody? Let's see. Someone said, like the car upside down Scottsdale Road, broad daylight with 0 cars involved. Yes. These are sudden changes. Sudden, all of a sudden, you're like, what just happened? Their world got tripped upside down. Why? Something Saturn was saying, you're not learning this. You're not doing this. Right. And so if you can start understanding, my friends, if you don't even know your chart, these are people who have their charts, that brought their charts with them and looked for the little brown H. If you can find the little brown H in your chart, just tell me what slice it's in and I can tell you how it's affecting you. If you don't have your chart, again, go get Zodiac Wheel as your medicine wheel. You'll get the chart, you'll get the 4, and then at least if they come up, I can be more elaborate here. If you want the advanced classes, I've told most of you, go to my Zodiac Wheel course on steroids, which is the DMT method. Someone says, even though, let's see, even though I feel like I'm working on my Saturn, I still feel like it's blocking me. It's in my 12th house. Okay. So the 12th house is actually correlating to what we talked about tonight, you guys. The 12th house is your mind. It's your mental health. It's your spiritual truth. It's your inside. So you're having a hard time because it's in your mind. It's blocking you, saying, you got to think through this. You got to think through this. And so it gets you tripped up, feeling like you're imprisoned and blocked and you can't move because there are boulders sitting there in your mind. And so it's like your mind feels like you can't create this dream reality that you want because it keeps going back into the past of reminding you. It's also the past life house. So that's a hard place to have it because it's like, well, how do I help people with their mind? You help your own mind and then let other people understand how that evolves out. You lay a foundation for that. So having Saturn in the 12th house, there's no easy or not easy house where Saturn sits. It's saying, I'm the boulder, I'm the sheriff, I'll give you the keys, you can get out of jail if you just take baby steps and do what I'm asking you to learn. We have a saying in astrology of the transiting, because Saturn keeps moving, right? Not off of your natal chart. Saturn goes where Saturn knows you need a lesson, where you need to learn. And so wherever it sits in your birth chart, you need to grow there. And when we have to grow spiritually in the 12th house, and we have to grow our mind out of being blocked by whatever we were taught, and maybe you were traumatized, maybe you had pain as a child, maybe it was a abandonment, whatever. You have a hard time getting out of that ecosystem to get to the one that you want. That's what Saturn's saying is go to the new. And it's telling you you can do it. Let's create it here in your mind first. Let's lay a foundation of clarity of who you are and what you want. Okay. And so does that make sense, everybody? That was so clear. Okay. Take the charts out of it, take your hotspots out of it. This is happening to everyone right now. This solitude, this isolation, this there's never enough, I'm never going to have enough mentality. And you have to say, do I have enough right now? Am I fine? Is the house burning down? Am I, struggling? But I can pay my bills. Do I have enough? And if you do, stick right there, be enough, and then start focusing on that new ecosystem and drive yourself to the dream reality. All right, someone said, feeling positive, enjoyed this session. Will continue to work on my own clarity and improvement. Yay! Everybody give them a hand, a private hand at home. Because this is the whole point of this, right? Is we are here to work on being extremely clear. That's the truth tribe. What is your truth? And anyone else around you, what their truth is, doesn't freaking matter. That's the basis of why you're here on this planet. And by the way, the picture that I shared with you guys, again, if you're not in the Truth Tribe on Facebook, it's free. Just go Truth Tribe with Dawn Thompson and go join in. And that's where I load up all these pictures that I load up into the calls. So if you don't have them, or you want to see it and you want to go, okay, if I think through this, what different parts of is it my health? Oh gosh, I'm really not detoxing the toxins within each cell of my body. I'm going to start there. Then I'm going to go and feel better like I did, right? Then I'm going to start with, the ecosystem of my environment. Who do I hang out with? My husband and I talk about this a lot, right? Who are our 2 a.m. club, right? If we called someone at 2 a.m., would they be there? Would they come get you? I have a friend on here. She's like, yeah, I'll come get you. Of course, I know she would. Those are things that not about coming to get you and getting your car and the tire and the whatever. It's those kind of things that you have to start looking at going, am I in an environment that's pushing me to the next level of the environment I want to live in this new ecosystem of people, experiences, feelings, beauty, joy, bliss? That's the goal. All right. Someone says, thank you. I'm seeing this with everyone. Thank you for validating that. I am too. It's everywhere. The struggles without understanding. It's nice to have the information advance forward. And again, there's nothing going to happen, you guys. I'm just telling you why you feel pressure. You feel pressure because it's saying, go to the light. You got this, my friends. You are all okay. And you do have enough. Enough is okay right now because you have to have quiet time. Again, I didn't say solitude where you close your eyes and you go, what do I want? I want that. Get out a journal, right? Get out a little journal and write on it and write all the things that you want in your dream life. That's where you start. Forcing you to go that way. And when you just have enough, get quiet. And that's where it starts. That's where it evolves you. That's where you're like I said, I was talking about the clients who had a lot of time apart. So they had this solitude basically, but they could only talk on the phone or see each other or whatever. And they were forced with the solitude to work through things that they were avoiding when they were always busy doing things. And it shifted their entire love, marriage ecosystem to a whole different planetary alignment, like a whole different reality. That's my point. And what it is with you is going to be different. And your love life, your health, your people, your friends, the food you eat are all ecosystems of environments. That's it. And you got this. I know you all have this. And I know you all know the pressure now is to get you to go to the light. Okay? Thank you, dear. Remember again, Truth Tribe with Dawn Thompson Facebook group. That's where I'll be putting all these updates. Okay. Number two, we have covered, now we're starting over our cycle of the 4 hotspots. So if you don't have your hotspot chart, remember, if you want to do a mini review, if you already have it, or if you don't have the Zodiac Wheels, your medicine wheel course, go onto my website. Just, you can go on most pages, it's there. Tap on it, it's $9. Keep it close to yourself. Highlight those 4 categories you learn in that class to get validation. And then we're going to talk deeper on them, and you're going to really start understanding yourself deeper. Now, learning to nurture that, and you're like, how do I get out of the parental, the patterns of my past? How do I get out of the patterns of my parents and the mindsets and the family and those ecosystems I want out of? And you need to elevate out of that validation. I know who I am, but I got to get out of that stuff. You need to understand where you were nurtured and how to get out of that. That's the IDI Academy. That's level 2. And I highly recommend you have both of them at all times, because that's nature and nurture. And now you're whole. Right now, most people who have done most charts with me and understand who they are, I want you to know that that last level is activating all 12 categories, not just 4, right, in your life. That's a DMT method. And that is literally, I mean, your chart on steroids, really. What I'm going to share with you guys, feel free to use info@ideserveitnow.com. I'm going to be doing a free live IDI Academy, okay, in August. So if you don't want to wait, you got to go buy it. So if you'd like to be on the waiting list for that, it's going to be a free IDI Academy. Email me info at the email address info@ideserveitnow.com, and just with the comment, yes, IDI Academy, and I'll ping you an early registration for it. I am going to do a free Saturday. I know you guys are hurting. I know you guys are confused. I know people are struggling. Believe me, I sit all day in coaching calls and it's all I hear. And I don't take it lightly, because I know what you guys are worth. I know what your power, I know the power you hold. You just don't have the tools. You don't need therapy. You need tools. And that's what I'm here for. So the tools are all on my website. They're all in courses. But if you want to do some of these live events with me, this is where they're located, and you'll be able to find them easy. Okay. So from now on, bring your charts if you have them, and we're going to keep discussing them next week. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about. We'll see what shows up with the planets, so they align. As always, if you're listening to this after the live session, remember, on YouTube and Spotify, the links will be below in the notes. Find me if you have any questions, just send me a DM if you need to. I can find you on any of the social media platforms. I'm on all of them. You guys, thank you for joining me tonight. I love you all. Brightest blessings. You guys have a good night. Take care.